Subaru has died so many times that even his respawn screen probably started saying, "Bro, are you learning or are we just speedrunning trauma today?" And look, anime fans know the pain. You sit down to watch ReZero thinking you are about to get isekai adventure, cute maids, fantasy politics, maybe a little magic. Then Subaru starts emotionally exploding every other episode, and suddenly your comfort anime is standing over you like, so, about that unresolved shame you keep ignoring.
But that is why this episode matters. Because some of you are not rebuilding your life. You are mentally restarting it. Every time you mess up, every time somebody leaves, every time money gets tight, every time your discipline falls apart, you throw the whole save file away. You call it growth, but really, you are trying to delete the version of yourself that got hurt. Today, in about 10 minutes, using Subaru from ReZero, I am going to show you 3 steps to rebuild after you break. So you stop living like your mistakes cursed you and start moving like your honesty made you dangerous. This is Michael Yearby, your growth strategist, and you're locked in with From Anime to Action, the podcast where we watch the scenes, learn the lessons, and execute. And before we get deep, let me say this. If you need music that feels like anime ambition got thrown in a blender with real-life pressure, go tap in with Rashad Oliver on Spotify. That anime-inspired hip-hop is for the people who are trying to walk through life like they got a training arc, not like they got dragged into side character unemployment. Put it on when you are cleaning, working, training, driving, or staring at your laptop pretending one more motivational video is a strategy. Now, ReZero is not just a show about dying and coming back. That is the surface level Reddit thread actually in the light novel explanation. The deeper mirror is this. Subaru keeps getting forced to face the same truth. You can reset the situation, but you cannot reset the emotional cost.
That is the part people miss. He does not come back clean. He comes back with memory. He comes back with fear. He comes back with guilt. He comes back carrying funerals nobody else remembers. That is not a superpower. That is being the only person in the room who knows how bad things can get. And that is why Subaru hits so hard for anybody after a setback. Because a setback is not just what happened. It is the private replay after it happens, the conversation you keep hearing, the mistake you keep editing in your head, the relationship you keep trying to rewrite, the money decision you keep punishing yourself for, the version of you that failed once and now you treat that version like a criminal in your own mind. I know that feeling. I have had moments where I did not want to improve. I wanted to disappear into a newer version of myself so nobody could see the old damage. That sounds deep, but it is really just emotional Photoshop. Crop out the pain. Increase the confidence filter, add a fake smile, post it, then wonder why you still feel heavy when the camera turns off. Here is the diagnosis. You are not weak because you broke. You are exhausted because you keep trying to rebuild with lies. You keep saying, "I am good," when you are not good. You keep saying, "It is what it is," when what it is actually hurt you. You keep saying, "I moved on," but your nervous system is still at the crash site holding a clipboard like, "We are not done investigating." That is why fake positivity is dangerous. Fake positivity walks into the burning house and says, "At least the flames are warm." No, stop that. That is not resilience. That is denial with a cute font. Real resilience sounds different. Real resilience says, "This hurt me. I made mistakes. I am embarrassed. I am scared. I am not proud of how I handled it. And I am still going to take the next right step." That is the lesson. Resilience is not fake positivity. Resilience is telling the truth without handing the truth the steering wheel. So let us build the framework. 3 steps. Simple, painful, useful. Step 1.
Name the break without making it your name. That means you can say, I failed, without saying, I am a failure. You can say, I got rejected, without saying, I am unlovable. You can say, I wasted time, without turning yourself into a walking, deleted scene. Subaru gets crushed because he carries outcomes like identity. When things fall apart, he starts acting like the disaster is proof of who he is. Some of you do the same thing. One bad month, and now you are the person who cannot stay consistent. One breakup, and now you are the person nobody chooses. One missed goal, and now you are the person who always starts over. Stop letting a chapter legally change your whole name. Your action is this. Write one sentence today. What broke was blank, but I am not blank. For example, my discipline broke, but I am not broken. My confidence broke, but I am not cursed. My relationship broke, but I am not unwanted. That sentence is not corny. That sentence is a boundary between the event and your identity. Step 2. Grieve the old loop before you build the new one. I know, that does not sound aggressive enough. Everybody wants the gym montage. Everybody wants the anime opening where the drums hit, the jacket flaps, and suddenly you are disciplined. But before the opening theme, there is usually a quiet scene where the character sits there looking like life just took their lunch money and their purpose. That scene matters. You cannot discipline your way out of grief you refuse to name. You cannot outwork pain you keep disguising as motivation. You cannot main character energy your way past a wound you are too proud to clean. That is emotional honesty. Grief is not weakness. Grief is maintenance. If your life broke, take inventory. What did you lose? Trust? Momentum? Confidence? Time? A version of yourself? Stop acting like naming the loss makes you soft. Naming the loss makes you accurate. And accurate people rebuild faster because they stop wasting energy fighting imaginary enemies. Your action is this. Give yourself 15 minutes. No phone, no performance, no productivity cosplay. Write down what you are grieving, not what sounds mature, the real stuff. I am grieving that I thought I would be further by now. I am grieving the person I became under pressure. I am grieving the time I spent pretending I was fine. You do not have to post it. You do not have to brand it. You just have to stop lying to yourself in private while trying to look powerful in public. Step 3. Rebuild one honest system, not one perfect personality. This is where people mess up. After a collapse, they try to become a completely new person by Monday. New routine, new diet, new budget, new hairstyle, new journal, new app, new calendar, new delusion. And by Thursday, they are eating cereal at midnight, watching anime clips and saying, I guess I am cursed. No, you are not cursed. You built a system that required you to be emotionally perfect. That is bad engineering. Rebuilding is not about becoming a flawless version of yourself. It is about creating a structure that can hold the real version of yourself while you improve. So pick one system, not 17, one. If discipline broke, build a 2-minute starting ritual. If money broke, build a weekly money check-in. If confidence broke, build a daily proof list. If your mind keeps restarting life, build a shutdown sentence before bed. Today was not perfect, but I do not have to delete myself to begin again tomorrow. That line might save you from turning one bad day into a whole personality collapse. And this is exactly why I wrote The Anime Mindset. Level up your life to navigate life's obstacles confidently and purposefully. Because anime fans do not need another boring self-help lecture from somebody who sounds like they learned emotion from a corporate webinar. You need a guide that uses the stories you already love to help you build discipline, resilience, leadership, and purpose
in the real world. The book is on Amazon and the link is in the description below. That is not just a book plug. That is the next tool if this episode is hitting something you have been avoiding.
Now, here's the objection some of you are already building in your head. Michael, I have restarted too many times. I have messed up too much. I always get motivated and then fall back. Good. Bring that argument here. Let us talk to it.
Because that voice sounds logical, but it is really shame wearing glasses. It is the part of you that wants evidence before effort, but rebuilding does not give you evidence first. Rebuilding gives you evidence after repeated, honest action. Subaru does not get to wait until he feels whole. That is not toxic grind culture. That is mature courage. Toxic grind culture says, ignore your pain and perform. Mature courage says, tell the truth about your pain and still choose the next responsible move. Big difference. Some of you keep mentally restarting life because you think the next version of you needs to be untouched by the past. That is not growth. That is avoidance. The strongest version of you is not the version that never broke. The strongest version is the one that can point to the scar and say, this taught me. This did not own me. And please hear me. A bad choice can teach you. A bad season can shape you. A bad relationship can reveal your patterns. A bad financial stretch can expose your habits. But none of it gets to crown itself king over your future unless you keep kneeling to it. So when your mind says, restart everything, answer it with, no, we are rebuilding from here. When your shame says you are cursed, answer it with, no, I am learning the map. When your fear says hide until you are perfect, answer it with, no, I am allowed to be seen while improving. That is the identity shift. You are not the person who keeps restarting. You are the person who rebuilds honestly. Let us recap this clean. Step 1, name the break without making it your name. Step 2, grieve the old loop before you build the new one. Step 3, rebuild one honest system, not one perfect personality. That is how you go from mistake cursed to emotionally dangerous in the best way. Not dangerous because you are cold, dangerous because you are truthful. Dangerous because you can get hit and not turn the hit into your identity. Dangerous because you can admit pain without worshiping it. If this episode put words to something you have been carrying, do not just nod and disappear. Take the main character energy score. It is a 2-minute assessment with 12 relatable questions that gives you one emotionally accurate number showing how urgent your real life pattern is.
Go to the link in the description below and take it today, not later. Later is where your old pattern hides with snacks and excuses.
This is the end of the Anime Lessons for Real Life series, so grab the free booklet and keep the lessons close. We are closing this chapter, but the next series is already loading, and it is called What This Character Teaches About Discipline. Look out for it because that next run is going to be pretty amazing. Until then, stop deleting yourself after setbacks. Stop calling shame a personality. Rebuild from the truth and execute.